either been here before or is supporting someone who's been here before. We have a couple of people whose it's their first time. We're welcoming you to our group. But yeah, we're just so grateful to see so many familiar faces, which is really exciting.
I think like 90% of the people here are readers, which is really cool. Yeah, so a little bit about that table in the back. Pretty much everyone on it, or every book on it, was either written entirely by somebody who read here before for ice cream, or they translated it, or they edited it. So that table is full of awesome things, and please buy things from it, or at least look at it, or at least talk to the person who was involved in its creation.
But yeah, on that note, just all of those voices on that table, we've been able to provide a space for them to share their work with us here. And that wouldn't at all be possible without, obviously, this wonderful space that is Malvern Books, as well as the community that comes out here and supports the reading and eats ice cream and tells their friends about it. And, you know, this is definitely a community thing, and we're so grateful that we get the chance to share this with everyone else.
Yeah, we're shocked it's been a year. It's been a really great year. Like, what started out as just this little thing that we were going to do for the summer to, you know, feature women writers who we felt like were kind of underrepresented in the Austin community, like the literary community specifically. We wanted to hang out with the ice cream with them. So it's been a year, and it's grown so much. And
yeah, I remember at first we were like really concerned. I was like, okay, first of all, I need to get someone to buy me some ice cream, and second of all, like, I want to hear some voices that sound like mine or look like mine, or at least don't sound like everything that I've seen come in and out of every reading I've ever been to. And at first when we started this, we were like, 3 months, like, it's going to be hard to fill 3 months up with 12 amazing poets, and like, we didn't even know the amount of women that are so talented in this community, and here in Austin or in the San Marcos area. So we're
Brian,
just,
there's a lot of awesome women.
Yeah, I mean, I know that sounds terrible,
No,
but it was just like I couldn't even imagine like filling up a year, and now we're like, okay, October, November, like, and just amazing writers just keep popping out from every direction. So we live in such an amazing town that really supports women and women writers.
And bouncing off of that, I wanted to say something really important, and I'm not very good at saying important things off the cuff, so a couple hours ago I wrote down what I wanted to say, and it's really short, so if you could just bear with this little 3-paragraph thing that I want to say. One of the goals we had for the ice cream social, besides having an excuse to hang out and eat ice cream, was to create a safe space to celebrate the voices of people coming from any point on the spectrums of gender and sexuality, of any race and any religion. It's a massive understatement to say that it's been a difficult week. I spent most of it feeling like I wasn't even on this planet anymore. Normally at a gathering such as this, after a horror such as that, a host will lead a moment of silence. But silence isn't what this is about. We're here to make voices heard. Too many of us come from demographics that have silence perpetually demanded of us. Silence is the last thing we need. We've seen the members of this community accomplish so much this year, and there's still so much more to be done because what happened Sunday was not isolated, it was not singular. So my hope is that you fill each moment of silence with a moment of action instead, or a moment of love, or even a moment of screams. This year has shown me our voices are beautiful, our voices are powerful. Never be quiet.
We love you.
I love all of you too. Thanks for being here. So I guess we should get started. Every reader's going to come on for about 5 minutes and maybe talk about what they've been up to, their summer plans, just whatever, and maybe read a little something for us, something new, something awesome, which will be a surprise because y'all are all amazing. So whoever's ready, you know, raise your hand and come on down. Come on. I just did something very like.
I'll be roommate.
Yeah.
brought my baggage because that's why we're here, right? Okay, put it down. So, realizing that's been a year, I was like, oh my God. I had all of this pinned on my wall from last year. It was just like, down here, this one says, snap, oh yeah. Air, self-care, it, the church, neuter, and then I drew a dog face. Dogs and skeletons have similar visual dynamics at the nostrils. This is what happened since last year. This is just one thing. Why I am sharing my voice, how I held myself back and let myself go in front of complete strangers. A message delivered. Bare bones, truth-telling, as if my family was right in front of me. Siblings, las hermanitas. Yo soy la grande hermana. West Side, GSA, high school. Day of silence, ribbons, and tabling at lunch. I did my time. College, I got arrested instead. My body in place is a place. And then I wrote right here, my PhD dissertation is going to be about rhythm, repetition, nodes, static, doesn't change, intranslatable, preposition, meaning, verb, present indicative singular. I was like brought back to a moment of doing Greek. All the poems from last year are here too. I even have an essay from freshman year about evading death through the novelty of birth, James Baldwin in The Human Condition. And then an essay about the lobotomy, a resurrection of an invisible man. And the poems from last year, they were about Vietnam, and they were bilingual, because they're Vietnamese, how I bring the foreign, so hopefully the 5 minutes is up now. And this is what I came to share. Dear Dad, summer 2016, AKA my whole life, one love. Dear Dad, Happy Father's Day. Sincerely, Tu-Uyen, your motherfucking illegitimate daughter. Who gives a shit about you?
Tu-Uyen was also my best friend who I also love. She was part of one of our earliest ice creams. And yay, thank you so much for sharing. And anyone like to follow that? Yeah, I'll
So, yeah, I read in September. So that was like the fourth one, I guess. And I had just started my MFA, which is still in progress and will be for however long it takes. And I also published this shiny new little chapbook, which is here, and I'm super excited about it. So I'm just going to read a couple of poems from that, since, you know, it's new, it's happy, and it's here. So I'll do a couple of the early poems in this are sort of geography poems. I grew up in Cleveland, and just a lot of that, I carry a lot of that with me. This one is Where Clouds Come From. The adults have finally shouted themselves into silence. Her father's knuckles cracking as he grips the wheel, her mother huffing out sighs, the discussion never really over. The child presses her forehead to the window, focuses on the LTV steel plant which births both heaven and hell, one side piping flames into the sky, the other releasing soft, white smoke, a family of stratus. I'll do another of the geography poems. This one is Where Snow Comes From. She used to ask Santa for presents and snow. At 16, she prays to a God she doesn't believe in for the peace only divorce can bring. She still wants snow, just a few inches to muffle the scene, or a blizzard to blanket the kitchen, protect glassware from shattering like ice. She wants the yelling to dim in white expanse. She wants their voices to freeze. Christmas Eve, busy with too many chores, her father either lying about working or working to leave. Suddenly, the door opens. Pressure drops, temperature too. White flakes whiz into the room. An angry shout rivals the wind. This one, so you've probably all heard my spiel on this, but I like writing poems, rules poems for things that don't really have rules. I think they're cool. This one is, so this is part of the, online project I sort of have. Rules for surviving your parents' divorce. The eggshells are already broken. Everything was already broken before you were conceived, held together with the guilt of religion, the veneer of liquor, or the net of denial. It is not your job to sweep up these eggshells or these shards of glass. It is not your job to hide dirt under the carpet or turn bone into ash. You are not born for redemption or resurrection. Absolve yourself. No matter how mature someone thinks you are, you cannot repair a cracked foundation. You cannot rub red wine out of white silk. You cannot save your parents. All you can do is save yourself. I haven't really been keeping track of time. I'll do one more rules poem. Glass breaking ends up in this collection a lot, kind of inadvertently, but I'm clumsy, for one thing, and I break things all the time. And also, when I was married, I had a Jewish wedding, and stepping on glass is kind of a thing. So that kind of worked its way in. I have to explain that because in Texas, people don't. They're like, stepping on glass, what? I'm like, yeah, it's really fun. It's like the best part. Rules for broken glass. Walk barefoot across the entire floor before you allow your children or pets to enter the room. Only one creature needs to suffer. Remember, destruction lingers. 6 months from now, you'll find carelessness, evidence of your anger or your carelessness. If you're lucky, you'll notice with your eyes. When glass shatters, never unleash a string of obscenities. Always say Mazel Tov, because you never know when this might be for the best.
Thanks, Allyson. She's been a part of almost every ice cream, I think.
Almost. There's a couple in last winter when I was traveling for 2 in a row.
We missed you.
I missed you too.
Who's next?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,